Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Shut Your Mouth Lounge podcast. Yet again, I've got with me Pink and Addie, and of course, I'm here, Alex. We've actually got the cast pretty consistent for the last 6 or 7 episodes, haven't we?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we're the usual suspects here.
just to make sure which of us is Pink and which of us is Eddie this time.
Yeah. I hope at this point they can tell the difference. I hope. But yeah, the podcast now is such a huge change from the way things used to be. Because I remember, like, back when I ran the podcast, and my internet is fucking exploding right now, so I don't imagine you guys can hear me. But back when I ran the podcast back in the day, I remember just how inconsistent it was having people on the podcast. Because we'd have, Mike and Raven and Muda on one week, and then the next week it would be an entirely different lineup. We'd have fucking Joey and Asma and Iadil.
Yeah, I was actually looking through that Shut Your Mouth thread the other week, I think, and I posted about how odd it was that back in like 2014 we had basically everyone on the forum participating in some way or form.
And now nobody.
Now it's just really us three.
Yeah, well,
Survival of the fittest.
yeah, survival of the fittest, and also, like...
It took me forever to get onto this thing, and now I'm one of the series regulars, and everyone else has disappeared.
Yeah, I needed to edit the YouTube channel's description to have you in it, because last time I actually updated it, it was only Alex and I, so...
Yeah, I prefer it this way, definitely. Because I remember back when we were running those days, and it would be like, hey, can we do a podcast? No one shows up. And I don't think I want to do a one-man podcast unless I'm absolutely too fucking desperate. And back then it wasn't running on a schedule anyways.
Yeah.
God. No, that's enough to talk about the old podcast. Let's see. For topics, let's see. You guys want to talk about the new season of Rainbow Six Siege? Season 2 of Year 3 will be coming up soon, correct?
Yeah, in next month, I think.
Okay, so this will entitle what characters? Have they been revealed yet?
They haven't been revealed technically, but they have been leaked. Well, we have it confirmed that we will get 2 Italian operators and a new map, but we also know what the operators are probably.
Yeah,
So,
all this stuff has allegedly been leaked like weeks ago now.
yeah, so we have a character called Maestro, who has an auto turret.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah, so
I
we don't know if this will go back to the I think they confirmed that both of these are on defense. So basically, this is Italian Tachanka.
Okay, yeah, they're both defense to contrast with how Finca and Lion were both offense. That makes sense. Just keep the lineups balanced. I do take issue here though. Before we move on to the other operator, this one really bothers me because with Lion and Finca, it is implying a new thing for operators where they don't have to actively There's kind of a balance between guys like Smoke. Like Smoke could set traps, but Smoke had to keep an eye on his traps and he had to manually detonate them. Compared to, say, someone like Frost, whose traps are not necessarily so powerful as Smoke's, and not necessarily so tactically useful, but at the same time, Frost didn't have to keep an eye on her traps like Smoke did. There was a balance there.
And yeah, so the thing with Lion and Finca is that, I'm not sure if you read it, but there was this French interview with a guy who's working on these games. Not sure of his exact position, but basically he knows what he's talking about probably. And what he said is that Finca and Lion were made exclusively for Outbreak, and they were put into PvP as an afterthought.
That really shows. Because Lion and Finca are both 2 characters that do not fit because they can just use their abilities at will whenever they want to with no consequences, and it will benefit their entire team. Because at any point during a fight, Lion can pop his thing and it will benefit his entire team. At any time, Finca can pop her thing and it'll benefit the entire team. You can do it unthinkingly. And it's ridiculously powerful for a move that you can do unthinkingly. Like,
yeah.
The balance with other siege operators has always been that if it's something you can do unthinkingly, if it's something that you can just keep up constantly, then it's not going to be as powerful as something you would have to, make a choice, make a decision, and use it at the right time.
So that being said, Lion is getting a freaking nerf, and I'm not sure about Finka.
Right, but I heard Lion's nerf is not going to be nearly sufficient. Like, it's just going to be that now he'll have less charges of it. He can only use it twice instead of 3 times, and that is not going to be a big help.
Yeah, he's gonna get 2 charges, and his cooldown is twice as long, I think. And people have been suggesting on Reddit, which they do actually read sometime. People have been just suggesting a good way to make Lion not as OP, which would be to make the scan exclusive to him. Only he can see where people are. He's basically an attacking pulse.
That makes sense in the same way Pulse did. And it would force Lion to be like... It would turn Lion from a character that everybody uses to a character that only the pros use because it would require a lot of communication.
Yeah.
I think that is a good idea. I can't see them implementing it. Because, I think Ubisoft has outright said now that they are no longer interested in maintaining balance in the operators, that from here on out the operators are just going to be scaling up in power. Tell me if I'm wrong here, but I believe they did say the launch operators are going to be dwarfed by the purchasable operators from here on out.
I'm not sure, though if that is the case, well, for one, I think they said that they might rework some of the launch operators for one, and the other, I'm looking forward to playing as freaking Son Goku.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
Son Goku's thing is that he gets exponentially freaking stronger in every fight. So he'd be the be-all, end-all, overpowered operator.
That was a stupid reference.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, this seems like it would be a huge problem, having a character who can just place down a fucking sentry gun like the engineer or Torbjorn. There's a specific reason that was not in the game. You don't just want there to be an area denial thing automatically like that can shred the enemy team. I mean, it's also worth noting that a lot of these characters have gear that can... While they have gear that can harm other players, that gear cannot, outright kill people. Twitch's drone can harm people, but it cannot outright kill them unless they're, 10% health. And, what else was there that I was going to say? Damn it, there's somebody else... It's a thing you'll notice that most of the characters' gear does not have any direct combat effects, cannot be used as a weapon. I mean, the most obvious examples are Jaeger. Jaeger's thing stops grenades. It doesn't stop people.
Yeah.
Or Jackal. His thing is like a freaking... Yeah, go on.
Traps don't even kill someone right off the bat if they walk straight through it. It'll damage them pretty darn well, but it won't directly kill a full health operator.
Yeah, that's because Capcan's been nerfed. Originally, the Capcan shots were insta-kills, I think.
They were. Well, it was a whole thing, because at first Capcan was completely useless because his tripwires were completely visible red lasers, and so nobody would fall for a Capcan trap. So they made it a balanced thing where the damage of the trap was lowered, but they made it where the laser was invisible.
Oh.
So he didn't get nerfed. Actually, it was mostly a buff because Capcan was completely useless before, where now he's only kind of useful. He's only useful when you're fighting people who don't know how to fight Capcan.
He's only useful when people don't check the freaking doors.
Yeah, late into the rounds when people start getting desperate, that's when I noticed that Addy's traps come in handy the most. Because there have been several game-winning rounds where it's been Addy with the Capcan mine at the very end, with somebody who stupidly walked through it because they were running out of time and wanted to get to the objective.
Yep.
And that's what Capcan is good for, anchoring and being a freaking pain in the ass. That's why I love him.
Isn't Capcan an Armor 3 character like the other Russians?
He is.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if... Actually, I don't think Glaz is an Armor 3 character, but yeah, the other 3 more than likely are, right? Tachanka and Fuse.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tachanka and Fuse are absolutely 3 armor characters. which means I don't play them.
So yeah. As for the other Italian operator, the only name that I could find was Berzaglio or Berzaglio. I don't know how to pronounce Italian. Yeah, that means target in Italian, and his thing seems to be a hologram that he can put out to make people confused.
Okay. I personally was just imagining like fucking
I had everything out here, so I just did that.
Okay, I don't know who Pink's talking to, but
oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I was
querying me.
Yeah, all right. Like something went off in my head. I was thinking of the scene from Star Wars where R2-D2 plays the little tape of Princess Leia asking for help, and that's what I was thinking about there.
Hopefully, this character will get a freaking Princess Leia costume then. I mean, even if they are male, especially if they are male.
Especially if they are male. So yeah,
that's what I want to see: an operator in a nice white dress.
But yeah, that sounds stupid.
Yeah, it does.
Like
yeah.
That sounds like a thing that people would instantly figure out. That being, if you just see Berzacchio or whoever just standing in a room straight up looking at nothing, you don't shoot them because Berzacchio has a fucking decoy. Like, This has to be one of those fan-made up ones, right? Because the fans love making up stupid operators that are either way too powerful or way too little.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as I said, it's a supposed leak. There's no confirmation until we see it, so I guess we'll see next month.
Yeah, with the benefit of hindsight, that Maestro guy with the sentry gun, that absolutely sounds like a basic, easy thing that someone would have made up. Because that's the most obvious defensive operator tool possible. It's basically what every game with an offense team versus a defense team structure goes with. Because the engineer in TF2 can build his sentry. Torbjorn in Overwatch can build his sentry. And Symmetra has her little sentries. So it's kind of an obvious little thing. I think it's probably, like, with the benefit of hindsight, it's probably fake.
Yeah, but then we also have Tachanka. And that's also just adds to that, I think.
Well, yeah,
Tachanka is a sentry gun himself.
Tachanka is not that powerful, though. The recoil on his gun and the fact that it only has so much rotation to it kind of makes him unviable in most situations. You know, plus you have the benefit of being able to shoot his torso and his legs.
Yeah,
you can't get a headshot off of him if he's on this turret, but everything else is squishy.
Yeah, that is absolutely the problem I've encountered with Tachanka every time that I've played him or seen somebody play him, is that he is just too easy to shred his legs or his hips, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's us for the Scotland Yard character that we're gonna get in season 3 rather, because in season 3 they have confirmed that we're getting a British and an American character with map reworks, and apparently the British character is going to be from Scotland Yard and will probably have bulletproof cameras.
That's interesting, but again, we run into the issue of Valkyrie already does that. Okay, does he make the cameras that already exist bulletproof, or does he get to throw out Valkyrie cameras but better?
Yeah, I was about to say, because if it's just a Valkyrie camera that's bulletproof, that negates Valkyrie's existence.
Well, that has not been confirmed yet, because even the fact that bulletproof cameras has been from a leak thing, but people speculate that it's probably gonna be a thing where he can go over to cameras and reinforce them.
That would make sense, but at the same time, it would be way too advanced of a skill to just like. The thing is, with each of these new operators they release, you have to buy them with real money. I mean, you can technically save up over the course of about a century to buy them with in-game money, but no one's got time for that. If you get one of these operators,
has 30,000 renown, so.
Right, and he's got enough to buy one character. Out of how many have they released?
Well, there's like 8 in our season, so that would be 16 plus Flying and Finger, so funny.
18, yeah. So he gets 1 out of 18 characters. So every character they release, they need to be able to sell. And Valkyrie was already kind of an awkward one. The ability to place cameras. This one, like, the ability to reinforce cameras is one that is not going to sell to casual crowds that want, like, the casual stupid crowd that just wants to get into games and shoot people in the face and be a badass will not be sold on this. This is the thing we have to keep in mind. I think this is a large part of why Lion and Finka have stayed in the game despite being so ridiculously overpowered, is because it's easy to sell overpowered characters, and then about like 6 months after they're released, nerf the shit out of them to make the game balanced again, but make sure that they're overpowered to begin with so that it'll sell to the casuals that just want to dominate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, this is an actual strategy that several games have displayed now. If you can sell that, then absolutely fucking cheat so you can sell that.
Mm-hmm.
And being able to reinforce cameras is firstly such a thing that, you know, your usual shoot boy, whatever, does not give a shit about, because he's not going to check the cameras. He's probably roaming as Kavira to go shoot somebody else. He won't give a shit about that. And reinforcing cameras, you have to know where the cameras are, unless it's something you do from the camera screen itself. I mean, fuck, you can't even reach half the cameras, right?
Yeah.
That it makes no sense to me. I can't see it happening at all.
It's Hibana Frisbee, but with butter reinforcement instead.
That would be interesting, but at the same time, it would raise the question of what happens if he misses.
Nothing
this
happens.
Little corner in the room, and it's right next to the camera. But aside from that, I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
He misses and hits one of the enemy operators and reinforces their head.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's invisible to headshots now!
He misses and headshots one of his teammates, killing them instantly.
Yeah. Rainbow Six Siege is stupid. I don't know. It's been a while since I've played Siege, and maybe we should, I don't know. I'll have to get in touch with Soon and see how ready he is to play Smite, because right now he's deep into God of War on PS4. See how willing he is to play Smite right now. I think today we might be able to get a little bit of Siege in, just because you guys want to play versus against each other.
Yes.
And then we'll switch over to Smite.
We want to show you something.
Yeah,
Pink and I have set up a surprise for you.
You keep saying that. My God. Am I going to walk into the house and just the house fucking nukes itself?
Yes, we've unlocked the bombers as characters.
Addy is just hyping this up, and it's not going to pay off in any way whatsoever.
Yeah, I can't imagine you guys have too ridiculous of a technique. It's probably just going to be, oh hey, we found out we can stick this gadget to this kind of door. Look, it's cool.
Yeah. So the thing that we found out is that you can, in versus you can play as only Lion. So.
Do either of you even have Lion unlocked?
No, it's a joke.
Okay. I was hoping it wasn't, because if either of you had bought Lion, I was going to smack you.
Yeah, you'll have to find out. I mean, it's probably not a big thing, but you might get surprised.
Yeah, perhaps. Alright, you put on the topic list here Smite, which, again, like, that's kind of a topic we tried to talk about last week, and it's easier to talk about Smite when we're playing it. I will say, well, firstly, Soon has given us permission to start recording Smite with him, and he actually wants it now, which makes me... Like, as arrogant as Soon gets about his games, Soon probably wants us to start recording it so that he can show off the videos of him getting pentakills.
Yeah.
It's something.
About right.
It's bloody something. I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's still better than when I tried to do videos with freaking X-Men and he'd take a month to record 5-minute videos lines.
Yeah. But, let's see, what was it? Have you guys have both played some Smite without me, correct? Because my time...
Yes.
Yeah, my time has been completely fucking fucked. My schedule...
Yeah, so we got shredded. Long story short.
Oh, yeah. We didn't play that much. We did like a round of arena that we won, then we did another round of arena where we lost because I picked Aphrodite, and Aphrodite did not provide much support in the arena.
Yeah, then we played Joust, and we were freaking team wiped every time, every 3 seconds.
Aphrodite is one of the most awkward gods to play. I I myself spent like a week trying to get good with Aphrodite, and I just couldn't. Like, it requires a very different kind of player, to myself at least. But the thing about Smite is, Smite actually, like, we're used to Siege. In Siege, we get into a game and we get wiped every time. That's what happens. Smite has a much more efficient matchmaking system, which means that the game is deliberately trying to build you up so that you get a 50-50 win-loss ratio. I mean, that's the basic idea of it, as any good matchmaking system is. So, you win some, you lose some, literally.
Yeah. I've also tried playing as Loki against the AI, so, maybe I would be useful against actual people as well. And while I'm still not the best rogue, I'm still better with Anubis, but, I get like 12 kills and 15 assists every round with like 2 deaths, so I should be fine as a rogue now as well.
Alright, that sounds good. I mean, the thing with Loki is like the ultimate, like, he's the assassin. Like, Smite works on a basis where every class has one god that pretty much encompasses the entirety of that god's concept. Loki is the basic assassin. He is everything in assassins that you would expect out of assassins. He has the ultimate tools for what is supposed to be the typical assassin role. Loki, you've observed, Loki cannot get into fights. And Pink has observed this when he played Loki in Assault. Loki cannot get into fights. Whenever it's an even 50-50 match, Loki loses every time.
Yeah, I experienced that quite well. I'm quite well versed in Loki's playstyle now.
Yes. So Loki's thing is you have to get
run
behind.
Away.
Well, you have to run away a lot. Yeah, you have to use that decoy obviously to shut down minion waves so you can get gold. But you gotta get behind the enemy team and shred them from behind because Loki's backstab damage is fucking nuts.
I also think I found out, like, I'm not sure if it was just a thing where my teammates hit the AI at the moment where my decoy blew up, or it was just the decoy doing it, but one time when I put the decoy up and it killed the minions, it also damaged one of the enemies.
Well, the decoy can hit people, yeah.
Yeah, it can obviously damage people. It's just not your go-to thing for taking.
Yeah, it's just nice that it actually does damage people when they're in the radius.
It does, but that is definitely not what you should be using it for under any context because no one is going to fall for it. No one is going to get hit by that.
I was mainly using it to get rid of the minions. The guy just randomly ran in there and tried hitting it.
Yeah, if they're good, then they can destroy the decoy before it goes off. Most people just don't think to do that, though. Like, melee gods in particular should not bother to do that because it's probably just going to go off with them in the vicinity.
Yeah, it'll blow up in their face.
Any ability, I think, outside of Bakasura's... Bakasura has a move where he can eat a minion, just fucking swallow a minion whole. That is the only move in the game that I'm aware of that will only work on minions. Any other move can work on minions as well as it can work on gods and vice versa. I believe.
Alright.
Obviously don't go wasting your ult on minions, but
Yeah. I mean, with Loki it would be hard.
Teleport backstab the minions, they'll never see it coming.
Yeah. So yeah, now as I've said, I can be mage, well, attack mage, and I can be rogue. So there's that.
Yeah, I think you're actually I think you really wanted to play assassin when we started playing, but I think you actually might be a better offensive mage. Which kind of gets into the issue of you and Pink both fill the mage role then.
Yeah. I'm trying to verse out of the support role, like I said on a previous podcast, because I want to be able to kind of fit in anywhere the team needs me to fit in.
Yeah, I generally aim for that too. Soon's pretty good about that, but Soon usually plays Guardian, in my experience. Mostly because he just loves playing Kumbhakarna. Which, Addy, have you gotten around to trying Kumbhakarna with an Assassin's build yet?
No, because I have no idea how to build him as an Assassin still.
Well, I mean, you can just look over the kind of items that an Assassin usually picks up whenever you play, Loki or Fenrir or Thor, and probably take those for Kumbhakarna.
Yeah, but it's mainly just lifesteal and frickin' bloody... The Rat of Jotun, or Jotun's Rat, that's it. Jotun's Rat, yeah.
usually I just see, whenever I play Assassin, I usually just see one lifesteal item, maybe one or two defense items so that you don't get shredded immediately by a light breeze. But it's mostly attack damage. It's almost entirely attack damage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like Jotun's Rat is my basic attack damage thing, so that's what I go to for attack damage. And lifesteal is always there in some way or form. Though most people pick the one that gives them a shield when they get a kill, but considering that I'm really shit at getting kills, well, sometimes I don't go with that.
Well, the thing about the shield thing is that with playing an assassin, you're supposed to go after the weak ones. So for the shield, it encourages you to go in, strike into the enemy team, hit the weak one, even if he's in the middle of the team, and get back out. And which doesn't work for your play method, because as I've seen your gameplay, you tend to just directly fight people.
Yeah, I'm a really one-on-one person. Well, one on 300 person with Anubis, but then Anubis is freaking overpowered. So
he's not.
He's not. But the way sometimes it goes off, it really does seem like, you know, when I can get people trapped in the middle of my AOE and then also breathe on them.
Like it's one of those cases where you keep saying something is OP just because you haven't run into anyone who knows how to beat it yet. Because I assure you, any one of the characters that have, like, particularly good stun spells will just fucking shred Anubis. Because they can just stun you and then use some kind of kill move on you. Every time. I don't know if you fought Loki before as Anubis, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
he stunned me like twice and then I killed him every time we met.
Yeah, he wasn't a very good Loki. But...
yeah, my eye lasers really shredded him somehow. He probably didn't take a lot of defense.
Well, no, Loki players usually don't. That Loki is one guy that if you... The issue with Loki isn't being able to beat him in a direct fight. The issue with Loki is being able to catch him in a direct fight. Because any good Loki player will not get into a direct fight. They will just cloak and run away.
That's what I've been training when I actually got to play Smite, because well, mostly I've been playing Siege to try and get enough money to buy a character, and you know, I find tuned that, so now even without the aim assist, I can play like I have aim assist on. So you know, and then Smite had an update which I downloaded, and then the servers were in maintenance, so I couldn't play it when I did want to play it. So yeah, I only got like 3 games in of Smite in the last week.
Ooh. Well, we're gonna get some in later today, so you can be happy about that. Me personally, I'm really fucking happy about playing Smite with you guys. But, what was I going to say? I was going to say that I'm considering, like, maybe getting together the money to get the fucking Buy All the Gods pass for, like, what is it, $30?
I wouldn't know. I haven't checked that yet.
Yeah, it is a thing where you can buy all gods that are currently in the game and all gods they will ever release for the game for like $30, and I'm considering picking that up. I shouldn't get it on PS4, because on PS4 I've already played the game enough that I own just about the majority of the gods anyways. But on Xbox One I might consider doing it just so that I can have more variety and I can play some of the old mains on PS4. I don't know. Money is tight right now. You know how it is.
I'm in a similar position with Siege, because you can buy the freaking microtransaction money, and I have enough money to actually buy enough microtransaction money to buy a whole season of characters. So that would be 8 more characters that I could play as. But then it's not really worth it.
Yeah, it's not worth it in Siege's case, because the characters don't really play that differently. Like, they have the gadgets, and that's notable, but they all just have guns other than that. Like, there are the occasional unbalanced characters like Lion, where it really does change the entire game. But otherwise, each character gets a gimmick, but their main thing is being a realistic first-person shooter, you know?
Yeah. I also thought of, because apparently Capcan has an Assassin's Creed outfit, I thought of buying that, but it's freaking like $10 for a hood, a weapon skin, and a charm. And I'm like, okay, I like Assassin's Creed a lot, but I'm not sure about this.
Yeah, I'd imagine Ubisoft tries to milk that as much as they can.
Yeah, I think Ubisoft is trying to milk Addy.
Yeah.
Just Addy
Specifically.
alone.
Yeah, pretty much all the games Addy plays are Ubisoft anyways, so, you know.
They might as well. They at this point they might as well own me.
Yeah, they might as well. But
But then owning me would require them to actually pay me. So
no, not necessarily. They didn't. I mean, if they own you, then they don't have to pay you. I mean, slave owners in the old American South didn't pay their slaves.
well, yeah, but they have to pay someone that or some of money to have the same slaves. So
Yeah, they had to pay the person they bought them off from. You know, the podcast is going to good places when we're talking about American slavery
and
I was
Ubisoft.
thinking the same thing.
and comparing it to Ubisoft. Exactly. Those fucking Frenchmen never learn. But let's see. Yeah, just to finish up the Smite thing, I should ask Pink which characters he's trying outside of the support pool, because that is a very important thing. Because some are way easier to try than others.
Well, first off, I'm really wanting to try Achilles, but as I've said in the random thread, I think for no other reason than just because I'm a big fan of the Iliad.
I've heard Soon got to play Achilles recently on PS4, and he says that Achilles is really good. So you might want to give it a shot.
Nice.
I think Achilles is actually in the free rotation right now, but I'm not sure.
Oh, if he is, then we should absolutely get Pink to try that, and you'll feel well. It's going to be interesting having our team model shake up then, because so far we've had it where you're assassin, Pink is mage, and Soon and I just kind of try to fill out the other parts. But having a time where all four of us are somewhat liquid, I mean, I can't see Addy going much farther than assassin and mage, but you know.
I mean, if Kumbhakarna is good as an assassin, then I might become warrior as well. But
yeah, but one thing I should mention for Addy, Soon in particular thinks you should try the hunter type, because the hunter is very much like the assassins but ranged and not so focused on sneaking around and trying to get weak people, which seems to be your type.
Yeah, when I played as what's her face, bloody
Artemis?
No.
Neith.
No, not Neith. Bloody Medusa.
Medusa's very weird. I
liked her.
You hate her?
No, I liked playing as her.
Oh yeah, the hunters are definitely the thing is I was about to say all the hunters are very weird and very different, but most of the gods in this game are very weird and very different. There aren't a whole lot that are too similar. I mean, so for me, I always play Amozenkob when I play hunter, and the thing about Amozenkob is he's got no actual damage dealing abilities. He has some stuff that's good for wiping minion waves, but other than that, most of his stuff is based around supporting in a fight, like applying debuffs to the enemy team and giving himself mana buffs and what have you. So for me, that's what works with Amozenkob, because then I can just focus all my stats into attack damage and focus on hitting people with my direct basic attacks. But some characters like Neith and Artemis, even though they're hunters and hunters are supposed to be based around their basic attack, Artemis and Neith both have really good abilities for hurting people. So the hunters are kind of all over the place regarding how their different playstyles.
I don't like Amozenkob just on the basis that he's bees.
You know, personally, I always think it's funny because he actually has one of his things is that he can apply a debuff to enemy gods that's literally just called bees with an exclamation point.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and I think it might apply a slow effect, but the main thing is it provides a really good damage over time effect, which combined with working with your teammates and your own ranged basic normals, he can deal a shocking amount of damage in the late game. Also, the main thing about it is that he can apply the bees effect to the entire enemy minion waves, which means that if they die basically in the next 10 seconds, then you get the gold, regardless of who did the last hit. And it means that Amozenkob builds up gold like a son of a fucking bitch.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
When we were doing the what was it, Conquest, I think, and I was in the lane all by myself, I was fine holding off Medusa, but I was also getting greedy because I didn't want her killing my minions to get the gold.
The thing is, you gotta wait until the enemy minion wave gets weak, and then just throw out, like, for Ratatosk has a move where he just throws out an acorn in a straight line, right?
Yeah, it goes in. Well, it's like 3 acorns that kind of arc outward, if I recall correctly.
Oh, do they, like, bounce or something? Oh, no. I remember the move. Yes, I remember the move.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. What you usually want to do when you're trying to beat someone else's laning game is you want to wait for their enemy minion wave to get weaker from all the fighting, and then just wipe all of them with one bigger area of effect move like Ratatosk's Acorns, or Raw's Space Laser. A lot of those moves are specifically for that purpose. But yeah, Smite is a lot of fun. And I think that once summer comes and I won't have a ridiculous amount of college work and Addy won't have his schoolwork, then I think we're gonna probably have a lot of fun playing Smite this summer.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see the next topic. Let's see. You guys want to talk about WWE Mix-Up? Which, remind me again, what the fuck is this?
The bloody draft.
First of all, Addy, you kind of spelled that wrong. It's a superstar shakeup.
It's the same thing. The same bloody thing.
The same thing, but basically, it's like every once in a blue moon or whatever, this time coming like directly after WrestleMania, they'll swap a couple of the superstars around from Raw to SmackDown or whatever. And that's basically it. Do we have a list of who all moved? Because I don't even know who all went to SmackDown.
No.
Irrelevant.
Mix up is all we have.
Yeah.
I
As far as I'm aware, they sent Miz over to SmackDown, and since he's free of his Intercontinental Championship, he can finally win a world title.
I fucking wish.
Isn't like Jeff Hardy the freaking United States champion or something?
Yeah. Like, in a matter of like maybe 3 weeks, the United States Championship had like 6 new title holders.
So how many bloody how many days until he sells the title for mass?
He probably already has.
I do not know what any of you guys are talking about right now.
Drug. We're talking about drug.
Oh.
Drugs. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was asking how many days until Hardy sells the championship for drug money.
Okay. Yeah, Addy's accent kind of fucked that up for me. I heard Matt instead of meth, so I was like, why would he sell the championship for Matt? But
he really misses Matt.
Yeah,
that's why.
the kidnappers are forcing him into a deal. I don't know what joke I'm going for there. Fuck it.
Fuse is holding Matt hostage. He will blow up Matryoshka if Jeff doesn't give him a title.
But what was I going to talk about? Oh yes, there's something worth talking about with the fact that Jeff Hardy and Kurt Angle are back with WWE now, and the big thing I feel like is worth talking about there is the WWE wellness program still in existence?
Because maybe, probably not.
Because like just the last year, Roman Reigns and Eva Marie got busted for Adderall or something like that.
Oh. Okay, that is strange. They must just have some system for looking the other way in certain cases. Because, like, it is absolutely guaranteed that Kurt Angle and Jeff Hardy are both still on drugs quite heavily.
Jeff Hardy was registered as Will-O the Wisp.
Yes.
That's how they went around it.
I'm sure they did.
But and Kurt Angle was registered as Todo Americano.
So, if you observe anything about Jeff and Kurt's wrestling careers, it's that they do not follow the money, they follow the drugs. The reason they were not working with WWE anymore and working with TNA was because TNA would give them way more fucking freedom to do whatever the fuck they wanted. And they wanted to do drugs. Yeah. So the fact that they're with WWE now means that WWE is now Hunter has probably clarified, like, hey, we don't support drug use, but you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. Kurt Angle isn't an in-ring performer, so they'll probably let him do whatever he wants.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's a lot of loopholes. They probably consider Jeff to be a part-time performer or something, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's probably a loophole, and Kurt definitely gets a loophole in terms of being an off-screen, being a on-screen presence. Yeah. So that's typical WWE bullshit, whatever.
But yeah, Angle and the Hardys arrived at the arena, and Hunter meets them, and he's like, "We don't condone drug usage, but here's some."
Yeah. Here's what you need to work tonight.
They probably pay Jeff on a per appearance basis just to make sure that he gets to the arena clean. And if he doesn't make it to the arena clean, they just don't have him on the show that night.
If he makes it to the arena clean, he gets paid in kilos. If he doesn't, they just snort it.
Yeah, they get Kurt and the Hardy brothers get there. Kurt, Hunter gives Kurt his pills. Hunter gives Jeff whatever, his fucking crystal meth or weed or coke or whatever that guy feels like doing that month, and he gives Matt Hardy his daily requisition of souls.
Yeah, right, because he's Shang Tsung. I forgot.
Yep, and then Matt hops into the ring and starts throwing fireballs. Man, if Matt Hardy started fucking throwing fireballs, that would be the best shit. I would start watching wrestling again.
I would as well.
With his gimmick right now, he's probably not too far off from that, though.
Probably not.
No, the thing is that I'd want the Mortal Kombat 2 freaking floor fireballs.
Yes. Yes. That wasn't just Mortal Kombat 2. He had those in Mortal Kombat 9 as well, right?
He did?
Yes, he had the fireballs that would come up from the floor and the fireballs that would rain down from the sky. He could do both.
Oh. But whatever, I still want the floor fireballs.
Yeah. But, yeah, this topic, technically it's supposed to be the Superstar Shakeup, but now I guess because of Addy, we're going to call it the WWE Mix-Up, which makes it sound like an entirely different thing. Yeah, that is something that is mostly irrelevant to me because I don't understand anything about modern WWE. You guys could be like, oh my god, Charlotte has gone to Raw, and I'm like, what? Why is this relevant? She's still wrestling, isn't she?
Do you not care about the fact that the whole city of Charlotte works for Raw now?
Well, I might. Well, that would. I wish. I'll just say that. You've made a joke so fucking stupid it has broken my brain. I can't comprehend it.
That's my job.
I can't comprehend it in any sort of way to make any kind of comeback. My brain is just fucking stumbling for words here.
Charlotte's like almost right next to you. You can go wander up to WWE property anytime you like, really.
Yeah. I can wander up to Charlotte. She's about like several miles wide and several miles tall, but
Just like the wrestler. Anyway.
She's powered by the city of Charlotte. It's like...
Yeah.
It's like when they have in comic books, whenever it's like Darkseid is Apocalypse. Like Charlotte is Charlotte.
Yeah.
North Carolina. Yeah.
She is God there. If the city of Charlotte thrives, then so does Charlotte herself.
Yeah. And she also gets immortality on behalf of her father.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Rick is probably powered by the city as well, but he's also like old as time itself, so he probably draws his strength from other places in the world as well.
Yeah, Rick draws his powers from the universe.
He draws his powers from Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Jerusalem and the sun. When the sun goes out, so will Rick.
Yep, that's one of the signs of the apocalypse.
Ric Flair dries. Yes. Bloody hell.
Ric Flair dries out. Yep. There we go. We're not getting any better than that. When Rick dies, the Red Sea dries up. The city of Jerusalem falls. The Roman
and the sun blows out.
The Roman Empire returns. These are the signs of the apocalypse.
The Roman Empire returns, helmed by the big dog.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god. What the fuck are we talking about? Okay,
The 50 million horsemen of the apocalypse.
Holy shit, Ric Flair was the fucking member of the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. You're right there. Oh my god. It works in ways that I couldn't have possibly imagined. He literally is one of the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Holy shit. Okay, yeah, that's some stupid WWE bullshit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alright.
We need to go into the rest of the mix-up, because it's not like anyone here even knows who went where.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just sitting over here still. I'm still like, what the fuck is a Rusev Day?
It's a day, but it's Rusev.
Okay.
And it's every day.
Alright. So, Addy wanted to bring up that Serious Sam 4 is happening?
Yes.
Okay, I'm fine with this. I played the original Serious Sam a bit, and it was enjoyable. I've never played... I own all the entire... Thanks to the glory of Steam sales, I own the entirety of the Serious Sam series, but I've still only played the first one. So I don't know what that says. I enjoyed it, though. It was definitely like one of the classic first-person shooters, but it was kind of around that strange period that Half-Life and Quake had started really being a thing. So it was very innovative for its part, and it was a very arcadey shooter in contrast to where Half-Life was. Half-Life and Serious Sam seemed to be around roughly the same level of technological advancement. I don't know how far apart they were in time period they came out. I feel like Serious Sam came out a year or two after Half-Life did.
Do you want to check?
No, go ahead. It doesn't matter. Serious Sam just, I'm reminded of the fact that it was a very technologically advanced, it was one of the first shooters where things were actually in 3D, and you weren't shooting at a bunch of fucking sprites. And it had wide open
cutouts.
Yeah, basically. Have you ever played Doom? That is Doom.
I've seen Doom. Yep.
Yeah.
Have you not played Doom?
I've played Doom.
What, Pink?
I have not played Doom.
Wow.
Pink, I don't care what kind of shitty PC you have, Pink. The next time a Steam sale goes on, you can buy fucking the original Doom for 50 cents. And the thing
and if
is...
you run on it.
Yeah, the thing is, it's only a couple hundred kilobytes, so you can legitimately download it in under a second.
The thing with Doom, Pink, is that if you have a TI calculator, I'm not sure which one, you can just hook it up to your PC and play Doom on that.
I'd like to hear the classic, Doom theme on the calculator. The da 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 da.
It's mute. It's mute.
Oh, why?
I'm not sure why.
Oh. But the original Doom is a fucking classic first-person shooter that everyone should get around to playing. I've never played Doom 2. I should next time the Steam sale goes on.
I played both when I was like 8, so I only have blurry memories.
Yeah, they're good fucking games, and one of the games I was actually considering doing a Let's Play of was the Doom... Well, I was actually the first one I attempted to do a Let's Play of, just a month ago, was the original Doom. The original fucking Doom that is emulated through DOSBox. And I started it up, and the fucking game exploded. So that...
You could die Z-Doom or something.
I could, but that's a lot of effort. And then I tried to do the reboot, and the fucking game also exploded, but not... Like, it was this weird thing where when I was recording, it was fine. And then when I went through the recording, for some reason the recording was fucked up and the frames were all off. It was a whole weird thing. But anyways, so yeah, Serious Sam, enjoyable first-person shooter for its time, incredibly outdated now. At the time, I think a lot of the amusement probably came from the fact that so many fucking enemies could go on screen, because it's a ridiculous amount. Like, the main thing you'll remember from Serious Sam is when you're standing on the other side of a big sand dune, and, like, cinematically, you see rise over the top of the sand dune a horde of 30 suicide bombers, all screaming their asses off. And, you
So
know,
yeah,
internally you just shit your pants.
yeah. with going by your description, with the fourth game, I'm expecting Dynasty Warriors, but with guns.
That would be fucking awesome. Could you imagine? That would actually be great. Like, imagine an FPS where there's thousands of enemies on screen and they just give you a rocket launcher. And it's like, go get them, fucker.
Also put in like a freaking competitive kill count thing where it shows you where you shot them and what, or what part of them you shot and what killed them, and just imagine the headshots.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would actually be a really neat thing to do for like competitive multiplayer, where it isn't you directly trying to kill each other; it's kill the most enemies, and that actually isn't. Is that a thing that has been tried yet? Because I
don't think it was.
I don't think that's a thing that first-person shooters have tried. That's absolutely something they should look into.
Yeah.
But
give me money for the freaking idea as well.
Yeah.
Trademark or
Go get a patent.
Gotta get a patent on that. Like how Bandai Namco got a fucking patent on loading screen minigames or whatever, so none of us can have them now.
Yep.
Fucking Bandai Namco, damn it. But yeah, I'm interested to see what happens. I won't buy the game when it comes out unless it turns out to be super fucking amazing, and it probably won't turn out to be super fucking amazing. It's probably going to turn out to be like very much in the genre of, you know, Duke Nukem Forever. Hey, here's this old FPS franchise. We're not going to do anything innovative or make a good game. We're just expecting you to buy the game off of the legacy of it.
Yeah, now Duke Nukem co-stars in a freaking FPS that you've never heard of. It's something like Bulletstorm or something.
Bulletstorm was a really big first-person shooter when it came out, Addy.
When did it come out again?
Like 2011 or 2010. It was really big at the time because it was like a first-person shooter, but it had kind of a fatality system in the same way that Mortal Kombat does. But like,
all right, well then I need to check if it was Bulletstorm then, because I know that he co-stars in a game that came out recently, but it's like the definitive edition of that game. So
it might be Bulletstorm. I've heard that the definitive edition of Bulletstorm is really good because the original Bulletstorm was something of a cult classic. Because every critic who saw the game was like, "This is the most horrible, disgusting piece of typical FPS AAA trash I've ever seen," and it wound up becoming a cult classic. So I'd imagine this is one of those cases where the definitive edition was probably way better than the original game itself. But
yep, it is Bulletstorm.
Okay, that's what I figured. Bulletstorm,
it's around $30, and that's for the edition with Duke Nukem.
Okay. You probably heard of Bulletstorm at the time because it was the game that was like a big idea was, you know, you could kick people across the screen. And you had a fucking telekinetic rope that could scorpion chain pull people across the screen, and you could fucking.
I don't think I've heard of it because around the time I hated FPSs with a burning passion.
Well, it wasn't a realistic FPS at all. It was a very arcadey FPS, which was very rare at the time.
Like, I just hated FPSs as a whole. That's the problem.
Well. You're in good company there because I'm not particularly fond of most of the realistic FPSs myself. Rainbow Six is kind of a exception. Rainbow Six is a lot of fun just because it goes so hard on the realism thing. Like, for me, it's one way or the other. I don't want games that try to middle it like Call of Duty or Battlefield. I don't find entertainment in that. I'd much rather have games where it's like hardcore realism like Rainbow Six or hardcore arcadiness like Overwatch or Team Fortress.
When you say Rainbow Six, you will have to put up a picture of a lion.
Fuck that.
Hardcore realism, lion. Yeah.
I feel like lion isn't as bad as Finka though, because Finka is legitimately just nano machines. Like it's fucking Metal Gear. Nano machines, son.
That's like. People actually told Ubisoft that if they're going down this route, they should really get another thing with Konami, so they can put in Metal Gear Rex as an attack operator to combat, or as a defense operator to combat Finka.
A fucking five-story tall offensive operator. Yeah, whenever the round starts, he just steps on the opponent base. I don't know. Saying that though, saying Nanomachine Son, though, instantly gave me nostalgia for Metal Gear Revengeance, and now I want to go back and play it.
You can. Do you have it on? Or yeah, do you have it on 360?
Well, yes, I do. Why?
I think you can download it on Xbox One and play it on that.
Well,
I
yes,
think I think it's backwards compatible.
well, yeah, I'd imagine it is. It was one of the bigger games of the last generation, but I don't see why I would do that, considering I've got an Xbox 360 right next to me. Like, I can the thing about the modern generation of gaming is the PS4 and the Xbox One. You got to put the game in, and then you got to wait an hour for the fucking updates and the game itself to install onto your system, and then you can play the game. Whereas an Xbox 360, pop the game in. All right, let's play. Ugh, I don't know. I mean, it also helps that the Xbox One is in my living room, and I prefer not to play games in my living room because I don't want to bother my family, and also my family wants to, watch Hulu and what have you. Whereas, the Xbox 360 is right here in my room, so it's convenient. But whatever, that's getting way the fuck off topic. What were we talking about? Serious Sam?
Serious Sam and Bulletstorm and that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm always down for more arcade shooters. I am down for the death of Call of Duty. I am down to see Call of Duty burn. So
yeah,
let's move on from Serious Sam 4, because this seems like a thing where it's like, we don't give a shit. I mean, like, yeah. I'm mildly interested, but it's only mild interest. And we're also getting up to an hour, and we want to aim for a shorter podcast today, and I think that for the last 30 or 40 minutes, Addy and I are going to have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, shorter podcast, 159 seconds.
Yeah.
Or 159 minutes, rather.
Okay, 159 seconds. Hey, bye, later.
Yep.
Yeah.
But, okay, what did we do in the last week? Well, I think that what Addy has played this last week, I will want to talk to him about. So I'll go ahead and start with mine, because this week I've been doing a shit ton of schoolwork. So I've had no time for video games and really only played Street Fighter V. Which, again, Street Fighter V, I'm actually really fucking loving it, which is surprising because I'm not ordinarily into Street Fighter. And it's a whole weird thing because, Addy, have you played Street Fighter V?
I don't have a PS4.
Fuck.
I still don't have a PS4. You need to send me one.
Fuck. So you have played Street Fighter 4, though, right?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm sure you've noticed this about Street Fighter 4. Every new character introduced in Street Fighter 4, except for Juri, is shit. Because who gives a shit about Abel? Mr. Vanilla White Bread Frenchman. Who gives a shit about Hakan, the weird-ass... Was Hakan Hungarian? No, he was Turkish.
No.
Hakan was Turkish.
Yeah, Hakan was a Turkish octopus,
yes.
I think.
Yes, Hakan was the fucking weirdo Turkish guy who just shoves cooking oil all over himself. And like, there's a whole funny thing with Hakan where I fucking hate Hakan's character because he's so goofy, but at the same time, I really liked Hakan's playstyle, and he's never going to be in a Street Fighter game again. So there's that whole thing of, on one hand, I hope he never shows up again. On the other hand, I really wish he'd show up again just because I did like him a lot, his playstyle. But
the only thing Hakan reminds me of is the freaking Bionicle character.
Okay, we're striving for quality content when we're making references to fucking Bionicle.
I mean, there was a character named Hakan there as well.
I figured there was. I figured you didn't just like, hey, Bionicle guys. But, yeah. And there was a Sea Viper. Sea Viper, yeah, that character, the Capcom fucking threw all their weight behind and thought she'd be big and iconic, and guess what? She wasn't.
Capcom Viper.
Yeah. They put her in fucking Marvel vs. Capcom 3. She got to be in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 before M. Bison, Ken, Guile, Zangief, Cammy, any number of characters that were way more deserving of a Marvel vs. Capcom spot. So, yeah, Sea Viper, no, I could see them trying to bring Sea Viper back for Street Fighter V just because they were trying to throw their weight behind her so much, but yeah. Another case of Street Fighter 4's terrible characters. El Fuerte. What the fuck were they thinking with El Fuerte? Like
I think he was supposed to be like a Skullomania replacement because they can get the rights back from Arika or whoever.
Yeah, they very might well be, but it's the whole thing of like, I think Street Fighter, if they're going to make a joke character, they need to make the joke character serious. You should be able to take them seriously in a fight. Like, Dan is a goofy ass joke character, but Dan's still cool to see fight, because Dan still has lots of cool, badass-looking moves. And he has this whole goofy, arrogant personality that doesn't match his capability, and that's a big joke with him. And the other big joke with him is that he has taunt moves, including a fucking super taunt. So that's the joke with Dan, but you can still take Dan seriously in a fight. And you can't take fucking El Fuerte seriously in a fight because every single move he has is named after a Mexican cuisine dish. He has one of his moves is named the tortilla press, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
Like, and it also runs into the issue of they kind of introduced El Fuerte because T-Hawk had been for years the designated Street Fighter Mexican character, and nobody liked that because T-Hawk isn't Mexican at all. He's just Native American, and he's not part of the Mexican culture, really. So El Fuerte was supposed to be their Mexican character. They introduce a Mexican character, and literally he has a fucking moves named tortilla, quesadilla, taco, burrito, whatever the fuck. It's like, what?
In case you didn't know he was Mexican, we thrown in these Mexican dishes so we could really sell the fact that he's from down there.
Yeah, I feel like this is a thing that if American developers had made it, no one would have accepted this. They would have thought it was huge and fucking racist. But Japan does it, and we're just kind of like, Japan.
Yeah. Japan is known for being
Just like in Gaijins.
racist at plenty of times, but they're Japan, so they get that free pass.
Oh yeah, welcome to fucking Capcom, where DJ doesn't get to be in any Street Fighter games because Capcom fucking hates black people.
Wasn't he in 4?
Yes, he was in 4, and he was in Alpha, but I don't know if you're aware of this, but Japan fucking hates DJ for some reason. Like, I guess Balrog gets a pass, I guess, because he's considered one of the classic Street Fighter 2 characters, but DJ gets shit on all the time. And it sucks for me, because when in Street Fighter 4, I was a fucking DJ main.
Oh. Well, yeah, I just like DJ just on the basis that I don't like fighting against him, but I don't have any other problems with him other than that.
I don't know why you'd have a problem with fighting against DJ. He's basically parts of Guile, but with more of an offensive playstyle. Where Guile is kind of the sit and wait type character, DJ can actually take up some offense. So, that's the major difference between the characters. Yeah. And, I don't know. Street Fighter 4, I fucking hated it. There are parts of the roster I like. There are some Street Fighter characters from Street Fighter 4 that I really hope come back in Street Fighter 5, like obviously DJ, and everybody loves Dudley, right?
Yeah. I was actually, I think I was a freaking Akuma Dudley main.
Yeah, everyone loves Dudley. There's no one who doesn't like Dudley. There's something cool about just having the gentlemanly British boxer. And I feel like Dudley...
He's a British butler, Steve Fox.
Yeah.
It's actually just a butler, Steve Fox.
Well, he's not a butler. He's supposed to be the rich guy himself. He has a butler that follows him around.
Well, yeah, but I don't know why he gives up a butler vibe to me. I guess because of the whole rich thing.
Is it because... Addy, is it because he's got dark skin?
No.
Is it because he's got dark skin, Addy? Are you saying that a British guy who has dark skin has to be a butler?
No. I mean, there's Albert, so... And he's supposed to be British, isn't he?
But, what was I going to say? Right, yeah, Dudley, I'd love to see Dudley come back, and I feel like there could be some fun they could have in Street Fighter 5 with Dudley, just because Birdie is also in the game, and there'd be a great contrast between Dudley being the British gentleman and Birdie being the British thug. But I mostly just want to see Dudley come back, and I think everybody does.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Street Fighter, the main thing... Wow, I got way the fuck off topic of what I was going to say about Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 4's roster introductions, aside from Jury, suck ass. Street Fighter 5's roster introductions are way, way better. Like, any of them. Like, Nikali is way better. Laura is way better. No way. Fuck Fang. I hate Fang. Fuck Fang. But, like, I'll stick to Laura, Nikali, and Rashid. Those are some cool fucking characters.
Rashid is good if only for his theme song. You forgot about that, didn't you?
No, I remembered. I just didn't think you'd make that fucking joke. I was hoping, some part of me was hoping that you didn't know enough about Street Fighter V to know about that.
I watched two best friends plays. I haven't watched them in like 2 years, but I have watched them at one point. So
I watch
there's
them.
no way.
I watch them constantly, you shitlord. So yeah, that Street Fighter 5, really fucking good game. I'm considering picking. I already picked up Season 1 of the DLC. I'm considering picking up Season 2. What? It's kind of that whole thing. The Street Fighter 5 has its DLC planned out very weirdly. And that right now, Season 1 is $10, which means that you absolutely have to pick it up because the fucking Season 1 characters are vital to the roster. The Season 2 is already down to $20, and Season 3 is sitting at $30. And presumably Season 3 will go down in price once Season 4 comes out, and Season 2 will go down in price, and what have you. But whatever, what I was getting around to saying is, I can tell I'd like Season 3 way better, because I fucking love Sakura and Sagat, and Q, and G is probably just going to be Q. But I'm still going to end up buying Season 2 probably this weekend, just because it's cheaper. Also, it's got Akuma, so, there's that.
Yeah. You can, whenever I get a PS4, you can share it with me and I can freaking be Simba Kuma.
Not with my internet. If we try to share play fighting games, that is not going to go well. But yeah, I'm continuing to play Street Fighter 5. I'm continuing to have a lot of fun with it. I'm considering maybe looking into picking up an Elgato, but I keep saying I'm looking into recording shit, but then my schedule for a week gets all fucked and I record nothing. So you know what? I'm going to refrain from saying I'm going to record anything this week. We will see if it happens. If it happens, that's cool. If it doesn't, then whatever. But yeah, I've just been playing Street Fighter 5 this week, so it ain't been a big one for me. How about you, Addy?
Mainly I've been playing Siege. Just trying to get freaking 2500 renown.
It is a bitch, isn't it?
It is.
Okay.
I've even tried solo queuing. It's every bit as miserable as I would have thought.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Because in a game like Siege, whenever you go on solo queue and there's no team cooperation, it is just people sprinting around shooting each other, I'd imagine.
More or less.
Yeah, and then it's just
for the time being, before I can buy the characters that I want to buy, I actually became a Montagne main. Pink can actually attest to this because we played together a couple of matches. I'm actually not that bad as Montagne. I got like 2 or 3 round-ending kills.
Yeah, that's probably a thing we should look into more when we play Siege. Because Montagne seems like he'd be a vital fucking element for offensive teams. And right now, I mean, not right now, but when I last played Siege with you guys, like, I would play Montagne on occasion, but otherwise we did not have any shield characters consistently.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I did that. I'm trying to finish up the secondary quests of The Witcher 3 because I need footage of The Witcher 3 for a thing that I can say yet. I'm sure you figured it out already, but yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, there's only 2 things that I can do with footage. So yeah.
Before we move on too quickly, I would just want to mention this because I'm curious about it. Exactly which Siege operator are you saving up for?
That's a secret. You will find out shortly because I have enough money now.
Okay, alright, so that's the secret.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be Frost, isn't it? You're gonna make me step in a fucking welcome mat.
I have Capcan, I don't need more strap operators.
Oh, okay. But, yeah, and you uploaded a video recently that I got to see a little bit of, which is you are playing through...
That's Space 2. Yeah.
Yes! So how far are you now?
As far as you've seen in the video, I recorded that, edited it, and then put it up.
Oh, so... Okay, yeah, you are not far enough into the game to really talk about it. That's a disappointing revelation there, because I was hoping we could talk about it.
Maybe next week.
Maybe next week. I will go ahead and give you a few pointers. If you want to know what the most overpowered weapon in the game is, it's the Ripper. Easily. The Ripper is your designated go-to cheat weapon for getting through any hard part of the game. With that stated, Dead Space 2 is a far more balanced game than Dead Space 1 was, where Dead Space 1 very clearly had a set of weapons that were useful and a set of weapons that were not. Dead Space 2, just about every weapon is useful, but the Ripper is easily the most useful. I will say that there are several fights that the Ripper is absolutely fucking useless for, so you'll know him when you see him. But if you want to know the cheat weapon to get through any hard parts, the Ripper is your go-to weapon.
Okay.
Now, with that said, I would encourage you to still experiment a lot, because Dead Space has one of the most fun arsenals of guns in any video game I've ever played. So
far, I've only found 2, and they were both too expensive for me to buy. So,
let me get the. So you've got, I'd assume the. Oh, why can't I can remember the line cutter's name, but I don't remember the plasma cutter. Yes, I'd assume you'd have the plasma cutter and the line cutter.
I only have the basic pistol.
Oh, the plasma cutter. Yeah, don't call it a pistol because it is most definitely not. The plasma cutter. If the plasma cutter is a pistol, which it isn't, but if the plasma cutter was a pistol, the plasma cutter is the best pistol in all of gaming.
I mean, I'd say it's a pistol hull with like a shotgun like thing.
Yeah, there's a little bit more basis for that. But the plasma cutter is one of those guns that's actually so fucking good that several people have made it an objective in their playthroughs to not buy any other guns and just use the plasma cutter the entire game. Because the plasma cutter is that fucking good.
Yeah, I can see myself going through with that just because of the reload time it takes. Like, the recharge time between shots.
You can upgrade. I think you can upgrade the fire rate of that thing. I definitely remember the plasma cutter's default firing rate not being great, but you can upgrade it with the power nodes at any of the workbenches.
Oh.
Have you not gotten to the workbenches yet?
I have. I spent it on HP and, I think, damage.
Okay, yeah, it makes... HP is going to be your natural go-to dump stat, but in a horror game, it doesn't really matter because you don't want to get hit in the first place. And you probably want to ration your first aid kits pretty well. Dead Space... You're going to have a very strange experience with Dead Space, because Dead Space is the proper spiritual successor to Resident Evil 4, for me. Because Resident Evil 4, the Resident Evil series after Resident Evil 4 never got anywhere near close to Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 5 used the exact same gameplay style as Resident Evil 4, and it was not anything like Resident Evil 4, and it fucking sucked ass. So for me, I think that Dead Space is the spiritual successor to Resident Evil 4. In terms of the way it handles stat management and gameplay and gunplay in general.
So what you're saying is you're playing as Leon Kennedy in space.
Yeah, Leon's got a little bit more personality than Isaac. A little bit. I say that sarcastically because Isaac's personality is terrible, and Leon is actually a really fun main character.
But yeah, just
a little thing to say. For anyone listening to this, if you have not played Resident Evil 4 yet, go back and play it. It's a fucking amazing game.
So yeah, how far did you get into video? It's not a long video, I wouldn't say. I mean, I have a freaking hour-long video up, so
yeah,
nothing is as long as that.
I got interrupted at the part where I think I actually had to go on a multi-hour-long trip across the state of North Carolina, roughly around the part where you run into the doctor and he's gone and he's fucking lost it and he's got the scalpel out.
Oh well, that's not long then.
No, it isn't.
That's the first 3 minutes of the video.
No, it's longer than that. I definitely watched long enough to see you immediately start the game off dying. You died at the start in a way I have never seen or even knew was possible.
Yeah, I tend to do that. I mean, I do have the -5 perception.
Yeah.
After all.
Yeah, there's a massive fucking flailing monster who is flailing his limbs in every single direction, and you just try to run through him. I'm just Addy, what are you doing, man?
At that point, to be fair, there was a guy behind me. I think, that's why I didn't turn around. I think that a guy spawned behind me, and there was the guy who was failing on the bed.
Yeah.
That was a place where I trapped myself, and might as well just have killed myself at that point.
Dead Space is a game that will beat your ass at times, but you can always get out of a bad situation somehow.
But yeah, I got to I'd say the first boss, that thing with the two hands, not hands, the
thing with the two hands. My God.
Yeah.
God has left this place.
The thing where you have to shoot its hands.
Fuck. I remember the first boss fight, but I don't remember the. Yeah. The thing that formed, the huge thing that's like three or four times Isaac's height and is formed out of multiple corpses.
Maybe does that start near a car-like thing that blows up?
Yes. It's in the kind of space hangar looking area.
Yeah, I think that's it. I got up, I killed that, and then I went to the workbench, and that's all that I got up to.
All right. Yeah. So you're up in the game to at least somewhat know about what's going on. I should note that that whole encounter with that thing was the fucking weirdest thing. Because Dead Space 2 is one of the only games I've seen that starts you off with a boss fight. Like, that's pretty much the first monster you fight, right? Like, after figuring out the telekinesis mechanics and all that, that's the first thing they throw at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is really weird. But,
yeah.
Oh, for curiosity's sake, have you figured out how to kill the necromorphs yet?
Are those the aliens?
Yes, the monsters.
Then yeah, now you have to dismember them and then stomp on them until they die.
Okay, you don't have to stomp on them, but stomping on their corpses will get you the loot. But that's a whole thing that's kind of sad about you playing Dead Space 2 first, is that part of the interesting thing for Dead Space 1 was the fact that you didn't know exactly to chop off the limbs to kill them. You had to figure that out the hard way. And Dead Space 2 just starts off by telling you, right?
No, actually, it starts off against them and then it puts you against them. And in the middle of trying to get away, it tells you that you actually need to do it, but not after or not before you actually get to kill a couple of them. So you actually do have to figure it out to some extent.
Right, but that you do start off getting the telekinesis thing with the Heisenberg rods, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I just called them toothpicks.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, the Heisenberg rods and their other equivalents, they're a little bit different because you can also kill necromorphs by impaling them to walls. That is one other way that will guaranteed kill a necromorph.
So yeah,
there is a story explanation for why that's the only ways you can kill a necromorph, but I want to save it until you get later into the game.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the editing because I'm still unsure if this new style is good.
Are you referring to the style of editing you used to edit the most recent Assassin's Creed and Rainbow Six videos?
Yeah, I use the same style in the past. Well, in every gameplay video that I've edited. So, yeah.
Yeah, I like it for that purpose. For something like Dead Space, you may want to just leave it mostly unedited, because part of the fun is seeing your constant reactions to every little thing in that game. But for the multiplayer videos we do, particularly Unity, like Rainbow Six a little bit less so, like Rainbow Six would make more sense to just cut the stuff in between games. But for something like Unity, where most of it was just us dicking around, then it makes sense to just edit it to cut it down to just the funny parts, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
Go ahead.
With Dead Space, I do think that you'd be better off going the whole way without editing too much out, because it's more of an adventure for you as well as the viewer in that case, and you're not robbing them of the full effect of your playthrough.
Yeah,
all right.
And some people do watch Let's Plays for the game itself more than the commentator. That is a notable aspect of Let's Plays as well.
Because yeah, like I edited the minimum amount that I could.
Yeah,
but still, there's edits. So.
Well, yeah, there has to be editing with every video. Like, at the very least, you're gonna have to clean up the beginning and the end whenever you're kind of awkwardly fiddling around with the recording buttons.
Yeah.
But that I don't really have much to say beyond that, because I'm just really interested to see how you handle the game.
I mean, most of the times when I'm actually not shown on camera in the new video, I didn't do anything. Like I think I cut out 2 lines of dialogue.
Okay, yeah.
So
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, there's little
I,
bits
I, I
here.
don't, yeah, I don't mean in-game dialogue, by the way. All I cut out was that I think the game is getting to me. That's all I said. That's all that's cut out. And me silently wandering the halls.
Yeah, well, Dead Space is definitely a game where you want to say, I think the game is getting to me, because that is a part of the story. Which, uh, there's so much I want to talk about with Dead Space, but I don't want to spoil you on any of it. I want to wait until you discover it yourself and then hear about your reactions to it.
By the way, there's a joke in the video. You will have to watch it again. There's a joke in the video that I'll want to freaking have you recorded to see how much you facepalm.
I'll pass. We do that in every video, Addy. It's not something special. But yeah, look.
Yeah. Anyway, Pink, what have you done?
What have I done?
Okay, you didn't say this past week, so it just made it sound like you were incredulous at Pink's actions. Pink, what have you done? My God, man.
Tell me now, what have you done to freaking Marycore? Why is she dead again?
Hey, that was your
That
fault,
wasn't me.
man.
That was you.
Yeah. Someone's trying to fucking throw somebody else under the bus.
Like, we all saw that video. We know you edited out the murder of Maricor.
Yeah,
I mean, nobody needs to know that I did it. And if they don't have footage of it,
You deleted all the footage.
you stuffed her up the chimney, you sick bastard. Yeah. So, Pink, what have you been doing this past week other than your septic tank continuing to explode?
Oh yeah, that's been a joyous ride. I've not been able to do much because of that. I did get to play a little bit of Smite, and I also did that with Addy as well, as he mentioned earlier. I too did some solo queuing in Rainbow Six, and I actually did not have as bad a time as Addy did.
All right.
Yeah, it was pretty shocking. There were no team kills unless somebody accidentally fired through the wall or something like that. No intentional grief or anything. And I actually did rather well in some rounds. There were some rounds where I was a legitimate MVP.
All right. It's good to hear that you guys are improving, because you're going to have to still cover for me, because I am showing no improvement in that game.
Yeah. It's kind of weird, because I was telling Addy when we were playing together, there are some rounds where I'm able to do a lot, and I'll be able to, like, finish a round with, like, 5 kills and no death whatsoever. And then there are other rounds where I'll just do nothing, and my team will either wipe the other team for me, or we'll all die.
Yep, that's basically Rainbow Six for you.
Yeah, it's really a coin flip as to what will happen in each round.
Yeah. Are you, for curiosity's sake, are you guys playing ranked or casual?
Casual. We play ranked together.
Yeah, I've only been doing casual because I figure with ranked there will be more tryhards in there, and I don't always want to be on the microphone. Because in casual, it's a lot like Overwatch, where basically nobody is on a microphone. So it gives me free reign to try out more stuff and less stress of trying to appease the team.
Okay, yeah.
With me, I only want to play ranks together because I don't want to have all of us go through freaking the ranked queuing or whatever it's called, the thing where we actually get our rank. Because with how we played so far, both of you would have to go through it 10 times again, while I would only have to go through it 4 times because whenever we play together, you two get judged by my thing as well. So
yeah, the ranked system in that game is fucking weird. I kept suggesting we stick with ranked because ranked probably had a stronger matchmaking system, but casual may be the way to go. I don't know. But yeah.
I haven't done ranked because I didn't want to get a rank without you guys. It's like, I don't know if that would mess something up. Like, if I was already ranked, maybe it wouldn't allow me to play with you guys.
No, it does.
Nonsensical like that.
You can be a diamond and play with copper, so it does nothing.
Well, I assure you that I'm not going to be ranked diamond. I'm more like dirt. So
yeah, I think what would happen, it wouldn't bring you down to our rank, it would just bring us up to your rank. So that's probably what would happen.
I think there's a thing where if, like, I think I saw post explaining that if there's 2 diamonds and 3 copper trees or something like that, I'm not sure, in a team, then they get ranked with plat people because that's how it does its math.
Oh, that's interesting, because I've spent years playing Smite with Soon, and Smite's sitting Soon's sitting at level 30, and I'm like, not, maybe a little bit below that, like maybe 10 levels below that. And so I tend to get thrown into games where I am way fucking outpaced by everyone, outgunned by everyone, because it doesn't want to throw Soon in with the fucking lower level shitlords that I'd be competing with. Or well,
yeah,
hi.
Smite takes basically the highest ranking player, it seems.
Yeah, it seems so. Which right now the highest ranking player out of all of us in Smite is Addy, right?
Yeah, I'm level 15 or like something like that.
Damn. So that's good for Soon, because Soon wasn't happy about. He called it smurfing. I think that's a pretty common term, right?
Yeah.
So Soon wasn't very happy about the idea of smurfing and being forced to play against lower level people. So he's happy that you're leveled.
Well, I mean, there's not much we can do aside from having freaking 24-hour marathons where I level up so we won't get put with level 2 people.
Yeah. I mean, Soon could level himself up higher in Xbox, but he's not going to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are sitting very comfortably at an hour and a half, and currently my ass is about to explode, so I'd like to tie up the recording really quick.
Alright, yeah, let's do that, because I'm pretty sure that's all I've done for this past week.
Yeah, and also Soon's probably sitting in the rafters fucking waiting to play Smite, so...
He's in a sting mask.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and set up Steam and contact Soon to say, hey, let's play some Smite, fucker, and then I'll...
And if he's not ready, then we can play Siege.
Yeah. And,
Alright then.
Yeah, I'll be on the Xbox in a little bit. Right now I have to go to the bathroom really badly. Thank you, audience, for suffering through another episode with us. Later.
See you in 3 hours.
Bye!
Bye.
Bye!